Hi, it's Mitch from pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Hawks versus Magic NBA matchup on Tuesday, April 20th, 2021. Of course, here on YouTube, I do more free pick videos than anyone, so be sure to subscribe to our channel. But let's get to this one between the Hawks and the Magic, the NBA. Really tough to figure out these days. I've been handicapping pretty much my whole life, and I have to say that this year's NBA has been some of the toughest handicapping out there because we don't know who's playing until they're actually on the court. I mean, not even like 5 minutes before the game do we know who's playing. You know, it's like players resting, players not resting. It's just when you have incomplete information, well, you have to guess. And, you know, to be honest, with my money, I don't usually like to guess. I like to usually have an upper hand or an edge at some point. And it's very, very tough to get there with the NBA. But the Hawks, 12.5-point favorites here against a Magic team that has struggled all season long. They have really had a tough go of it and, you know, eventually traded away half their team. Magic have looked attractive in spots, you know, getting a ton of points on the road where they had a nice thing where they were covering a bunch of games. But I tell you, it all seemed to have gone to the wayside. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Hawks are surging. This is a team that was so bad earlier this season. They fired their coach. Now they're 8-2 in their last 10 games, 31-26, and sitting in the fourth position in the Eastern Conference playoff standings, tied with the Celtics, who took one on the chin on Monday. So actually now the Hawks are slightly ahead of the Celtics in the standings and really control their own destiny for that fourth spot, which will give them a home court advantage for an opening round of the playoffs, likely against the Celtics, though, or the Knicks, Heat, Hornets, Pacers, or Raptors, all in the mix, as well as the Chicago Bulls still in the mix as well. But a lot of teams, I guess, with the play-in the way that it is, I've already been talked about in the YouTube comments about my play-in comments. But I just think that the Hawks are just so much the better team here, and you know the only way they don't dominate in this game is if something happens that we don't know, you know, what's going to happen. Gallinari, Snell, all out for this one. Reddish, of course, is going to be probably another month. Same with Hunter. But for the Magic, Carter Williams still out, and Enos, Ross, Otto Porter Jr., you know, the list goes on of what they even have left, just a shell of what they were and what they intended to be this season. Offensively, the Magic ranked 29th in the NBA, averaging just 104 points per game. They're the worst shooting team in the entire NBA. Meanwhile, the Hawks, not so much focused on the offense like they were, more focused on the defense. They've slipped to 15th ranked in defense in points allowed, but that's, you know, in between 15th and 21st, 22nd, it's really like just a tenth of a point separating those teams, as the Hawks' numbers haven't gotten worse. It's just the ranking got a little worse, and when it comes to three-point shooting against, nearly impossible against the Atlanta Hawks, fourth best in the NBA. You know, all things being considered in this one, I just think the Hawks are just so much the better team. You know, originally the graphic here had a mistake, and it said Hawks minus 125. I don't think it's that far-fetched. I think the Hawks can name their number and win by it, but like I said, in today's NBA, even the most obvious is not so obvious. I'm going to take the Hawks and lay the 12.5 and take my chances, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, if you're wondering who the top handicappers in the world feel are the best bets on the board today, head on over to pickdawgz.com and click on the Premium Picks tab.